Hey guys, how you guys doing? It's Bishopheals from the ECF Forums and host on Vape TV. I'm here again, man. I'm feeling so great on this Saturday. I'm going to give you a second video. Forget about it. This is going to be a coil building video. Alright? I'm going to show you a very simple way of, well, let's take that back. This is more of an advanced coil build video. Okay? What we're going to be using is 3 different gauges of wires. Okay? And what we're going to be playing with today is going to be 25 gauge. We're also going to be playing with 30 gauge. And we're going to be playing with 28 gauge. Okay? So, to get this going, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece about a little over a foot, okay, of 25 gauge wire. And the same with the 28 gauge. Okay, and I don't know if you guys recall in my previous videos, but I did show as far as like how you do the twist method. So what I'm going to be doing here is precisely that. We're going to be twisting the 25 gauge with the 28 gauge. Okay, so right now I'm just evening out the 2 wires that I have here. And I'm just putting them together so I can measure where to cut the, there it is, okay. Cut the 28 from, there we go. So I try to keep it as even as possible. So here are my 2 wires, okay, that I'm going to be using. Okay, this is a little bit longer, about 1.5 feet, I would say almost 2 feet long, okay. And the reason why I'm picking these, because these are going to be acting as my base. Yes, my base. So, what you're going to need is also a drill. Because I love the way how the twisted wires look once you use a drill. Now, this is phase 1. Okay, this is phase 1. And you might be saying to yourself, well, I've already twisted 228s or 225s or 226s. What's so different about this? Well, stick around. Because let me show you what's going to happen here. Right now I'm going to mount this on my drill. And just making sure it's tight. Really tight. Alright. Awesome. So now it's mounted, as you can see. Alright. And I'm putting this on number 1. In case you have like a fast drill, I would say just set it on number 1. You really don't need a lot of speed, because what we want to do is we want to twist this, but we don't want it to get crimped, okay, at all. So what I'm actually doing is just, as you can see, I'm kind of applying some force and evening out. Okay, so now I'm applying force on my pair of pliers, okay, and now I start twisting. So as I twist, I apply force. Now I put in some more speed, and I keep doing it. That's it. I just keep doing it until it's nice and tight, but you don't want it to be crimping. Okay, so now looks perfect. Forget about it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is cut. Okay. Alright, and cut here. Okay, and cut here. Awesome. So now let me show you how it looks a little bit up close. Let's see if I can. Okay. So it's just a very, very tight twist, and this is 25 gauge with 28 gauge. Okay. 25 to 28. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, now we're going to take 30 gauge wire. Yep. We're going to use 30 gauge wire. So let me see if I can set this up a little bit better so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach with a small little twist onto the tip of this. Then bring that down. Now I'm going to attach this to the drill. Really tight. Okay. Now everything is all nice and tidy. Okay. Now the whole object that we're going to be doing here is that we want to let me get this a little bit closer. Okay. And let's see if I can focus that a little better for you. Okay. The whole object, if I do it by my hand, okay, as you can see, it's gonna, I'm setting up, think of it as a microcoil. Think of this as the wick, okay, and this is the actual wire that you're gonna be wrapping in as a microcoil, okay, and we're gonna be pretty much putting it down with your nail, okay, and you want to go a little bit slow at first, okay, just like so, okay, and you want to keep spinning it. Okay, just like that. But you want to do it very slowly, and you want to make sure it's close together. Okay, and so what I'm doing right now is I'm making sure that each wrap is close together. So as it's turning, see, I don't need a lot of speed. I just need it to keep turning nice and slow. And let me see if I can focus that for you so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. You see that? So I'm doing it nice and slow. And as it turns, you see that? It forms like a microcoil, okay, just like that, okay. So this is what we're going to be doing, okay, all the way through. So once I'm done, be right back. Almost there, almost done. So okay, so now I'm going to fasten this. And what I do is I just cut at the part where it finished. There we go. So then the rest of this I still need to spin the 30 gauge wire. But to give you an idea of how it looks, this is pretty much the finished product right here. See that? So we totally wound it up. We twisted 26 and 28 together, okay, and then we wind it up to 30 all across, okay. So we're going to be putting this, guess where? On the Ithaka, baby! On the Ithaka! Oh, yeah, baby! Forget about it. Okay, so we're back. And this is pretty much a little bit of a close-up of how the actual wires look. Okay? So as you can see, I have two twisted wires. I'm using 25 gauge and 28 gauge. And then I'm using a 30 gauge, as you can see that? Circled all around. Now I spaced this out just to show you. Now you can use this spaced out or crunched up together like a microcoil. It's your choice, okay? So if you're going to use it as a microcoil, you're going to be using a lot of the 30 gauge wire to accomplish that. But just to show you, this is pretty much how it would look like if you were going to set it up as a micro on top of the twisted coil. So this is the other side. Just wanted to show you. See that? Okay, that's what it will look like. Okay, so now let's mount this on the on my Ithaka over here. Okay, like I said, this is a little bit of an advanced build. This will take a little bit of time to set up. This can averagely take anybody between 20 minutes to 40 minutes to create just this actual wire. Okay, so with that, keeping that in mind, I'm going to set this up only about 5 wraps. So I'm going to wrap this up. And we're going to scrunch this together. That's 3. That's 4. And this is 5. So it'll look like that. Let's see if I can focus that a little better for you. There we go. So here it is. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to keep it this way. Okay. And we'll cut off the excess so we have some extra for later. Okay, so now I'm just putting in a 3/32 drill bit because I need to push it in a little bit more. So as you can see, this is how it looks right now. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can focus that a little bit for you. Okay. So now it's pretty much the same as usual. We're going to tie it around the posts. Okay. And I'm just checking to see. Yep, okay. That's the first one. Tie it down. And then we'll do the same with the other one. So, okay, so now that I have this mounted, just to show you how it looks. Okay, see that? So we have twisted in the center. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, now we're going to do a quick dry burn, then we'll add the cotton coil on here. Putting this on my Just GG. And what we want to do is we want to pulse it. Okay, we're going to pulse it first. Okay, so we're just going to do this because we want to make sure that the coils are lighting up evenly. Okay, which right now I see a little bit of a hot spot, so I'm going to adjust it accordingly now. There we go. So now as you can see, now it's lighting up evenly. Alright, no hot spots. So now, which is good because, look at that. Nice. Very nice. You can light up a basement with this. Forget about it. What can't you do with freaking email stuff over here? Look at this. Unbelievable, man. Okay, so now hotspot's been worked out, as you can see, and this thing is ready. So let's get my wick ready, And this wick you can get from Fluid Vapor. So now, when you use cotton, okay, and you put it onto the side channels. So I can focus that. Okay. Now, what I do is I kind of leave the juice control almost about more than halfway up, okay, when I start using this device. Okay. So I really don't need to apply the cotton all the way down to the channel. So it's just pretty much about here is where I would actually start making sure that juice control is already open. But that's after I've been, after I filled up the tank and stuff. But right now, this is ready. Yes, it is perfectly ready, baby. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be soaking it up. Make sure on the side channel that cotton is soaked. Okay. Now that that's done, what we'll do is we're gonna start putting in the juice control. And like I said, about this is where I would actually leave it once it's once the tank is full and you start vaping on it. But before that, when you start filling up the tank, you gotta make sure this thing is completely shut. Otherwise, you'll have flooding issues. So it'll be like that. Okay, so now let's start vaping on it and see how she works. Okay, so we got put in some green sleet from Fluid. Let's see how she vapes. Woo! Woo! Wee! I tell you. Oh man, cinnamon titties, baby. Forget about it. This thing is hitting nice. Mwah! Very nice. Just gotta wet it up a little because this thing is super, super hot, I tell you. Very, very hot. I'm guessing about maybe like 0.2, 0.25 ohms is what I'm getting around here. Oofa. Oh man, let's seal this up and call it a day, I tell you. This thing is just, oh, she hitting nice. Totally nice. So start adding some more juice into the tank. Needs to add a couple of drops up top. Okay. Seal her up. And like I said, you want to open up the juice control. Wow, I tell you, it is a lot of vapor, man, on this Ithaka right now. She is pumping some serious flavor. Oh, man. Oofa. Man, those coils are kicking ass. Let me tell you, it was worth the wait. I tell you, it was totally worth the wait. Oh my gosh. Being that it's fresh cotton, I have to give it some time to break in. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a helping hand. But wow, what flavor, what good flavor, I tell you. And the amount of vapor that it produces is just out of this world. So hopefully you found that a little bit enjoyable. That is a coil build. It is a little bit of an advanced coil build. You have 25 gauge, 28 gauge, twisted together as the center wick, and then wrapping it around with a 30 gauge wire. Now mounting it on here, I may have showed you, it was pretty a little bit simple, but I had to flatten out a little bit the edges of the wires to get it to wrap around the actual flathead screws. But this thing is just great. This is just totally delicious. But I just wanted to share that coil build, being that someone, you know, already PM'd me 1,000 times, okay, asking for another coil build. So you know who you are out there, all right? So hopefully you can enjoy that. Now, this coil build, you can't put it on other RDAs, which is totally up to you, which I'll be doing a video a little bit later on, and I mean later on, on this same coil build, but on a different device altogether. But I really wanted to show you how it works so well on the Ithaka. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. Totally mind-blowing. I mean, the amount of vapor, it's just, you know, it is what it is, baby. Forget about it. So with that, live hard and vape hard. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.